Here we are live. The date from which we are live is March 11, 2026. We're here to acknowledge the birthday of the man in the hat, the portrayer of the Svengoolie character. Tomorrow, March 12th, which always interests me that it matches up to the Chicago area code 312. So you take the 3 from March and the 12 from the 12th, and somehow there is an alignment there between the birthday of Rich Koz on March 12th and the Chicago area code of 312. Let's go to comments. This is an all comments extravaganza, dare I say, an extravaganza that we're going to have tonight. I will go to the comments that are in the comments section. I will go to the comments from Reddit. Let's start with, in the order that they appeared, Jim Campbell, many a time a co-host, many a time a field reporter, the man who just recently attended the Rubber Chicken Museum. Feel free to check back in the playlist or just scroll back a little bit in our listings here. Jim Campbell bringing us all the good news from the Junkyard Museum. Also joining us tonight, Junkyard. Noteworthy that the first time I ever saw Rich Koz in person of anything, he wasn't in the top hat and the wig and the face paint. He was, in fact, as himself, Rich Koz. Was it 1987 into 1988, or was it 1986 into 1987 as he was hosting the New Year's event in Chicago in the freezy outdoors? Oh, man, I always love it when a different notification pops up in the screen and takes me off of what I'm able to see. That's always fun when you're going live. Okay, we got that resolved. Okay. All right, now, let's not rule out, let's not forget the valuable contribution. So I'm trying to say Junkyard was there with me the first time I ever saw Rich Koz. Now Chai Star's dropping his traditional, let's go. Am I dressing up as Sven tomorrow? Time will tell. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Maybe I had on my red shirt already today. Maybe I wasn't so clever about hanging my pen from my lanyard to then get ink stains in my Svengoolie costume red shirt. Maybe. Man, the comments are coming fast and furious. Let me try to keep pace. Chicago needs if there's a Michael Jordan statue, should be also a Rich Koz statue. I see Bozo peeking out in the background. Yeah, that Bozo.
Background.
Oh my gosh. All right, let me go back. I'm reading the comments here, and oh boy. I don't know at what point the audio. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Recap it. Jim Campbell drops in a Svenny. Campbell just been to the Rubber Chicken Museum. Chai Star is dropping Let's Go. Junkyard, the first time I ever met Rich Koz out of the outfit. We're okay. Bozo's right in there. Catching up, moving on here. Thanks for letting me know the audio was out of whack, boys. Again, sentimental bit right here. Chai Star's late dad had sat down with him. See, we got to get that. That's a whole other show. Chai Star, that's a whole other show right there, or at least a whole full segment. Okay, got made up for the audio issues. We have sound. Excellent. Got to retell the story. Yeah. Okay. Well, here, let's get, because I told the people of Reddit we're reading their comments, and I appreciate. Okay. Yeah. Audio gone. Audio back. Come on. Okay. All right. All right. Audio's back on. All right. Here we go. Okay. I'm telling the people from Reddit we're reading their comments. Wouldn't be me if I didn't have some technical difficulties. All right. Now here, I'm clicking the wrong stuff here. I got the picture ready. We had 2 rounds of Reddit comments to read. Okay, so the first, can you read the comments? Now, we did have that as a draft idea. I thought I wanted to go to sentimental route this time and not do, maybe we do the Sven accent, maybe British, maybe. Okay, here we go. See, I should have blown this stuff up bigger. Okay, so Rockman 1997 said, happy birthday to the icon of Berwyn. Thank you for your work over the years. You've made our lives better. Daddy Cat also says, happy birthday, man in the hat. That's how he usually addresses Sven Rich on Facebook. This one's a trickier name, but Allah Live, the original, goes with a happy birthday and a birthday cake and a party cone symbol there. Danny Hollow says, happy birthday, Rich. Now, this one, I like the way this was phrased here. Chicago actually. Yeah. He's already here with the Chicago accent. Okay, quarter square. This was a real good one. Happy orbital completion day. What an awesome way to say it. Happy orbital completion day to Mr. K, to Mr. Koz. Quarter square was not allowed to watch when he was younger. So he's glad that he got to know Sven Rich's work now. Rich is amazing, and I wish you all the best. The Bears. Okay, so now that was from one cluster of Reddit comments. Now let me flip back into, here we go, share screen, and get myself in the bottom corner here and start scrolling through. Wait till the spoilers. Wait till it, let me not totally obscure my face with the comments. All right, here we go. And again, thanks for tipping me off that I had accidentally put myself on mute. That's why I will continue to bill myself as an amateur around here, because that is consistent with how I do business. Okay, here we go. Who turned this phone off? A Svengoolie Reddit here. Come on. All right. Sven Squad's coming to C2E2. That's very noteworthy. Somebody says it's going to be 3:30 in the afternoon. Michaela's continuing to post great art in the Svengoolie subreddit. But let me go in the order that they appeared. Okay, right down there. Gingy 2019 says, happy birthday. Strawberry Moon Pie. The screen names only make it better. Strawberry Moon Pie says, happy birthday. I only started watching about 5 years ago, but I'm a Mystery Science 3000 person from back in the day, so I appreciate what you do. We spend most every Saturday with Sven and the Sven Squad now. Now, do you want to see these comments in their original environment? Jump into the subreddit for Svengoolie on Reddit. Keep going here. Says, over the garden wall says, happy birthday, Svengoolie, with the less than sign and the 3, which is the old school way of putting a heart into a message. You mean so much to so many. I feel so grateful to have found you! Exclamation point. Thank you, over the garden wall. That is some good stuff. Mother Duke says, happy birthday, Sven. My daughter and I watch the big broadcast every week. We wouldn't miss it. Thanks for the joy. Look at it. He's full of sentimentality here. Let me kind of flip around. So, oh no, am I in the right place to navigate? No, I'm not in the right place to navigate. Let me jump back over here. Let me scroll these comments around a little. Okay, so then Flight Flight Extension 8825 says, happy birthday, Sven. Love the show. A Novel Cash 8001 says, thanks for the giggles, Sven. You, your cast, and the Sven Squad have brought us much happiness. Then we get to Diamond Lady 2312 says, happy birthday, Sven, with a flurry of exclamation points. This is all good. Venus Marmalade, or Marmalade, depending on how you want to pronounce a thing, says, a very happy birthday to Rich Koz, our Svengoolie with the pink double pump on the pink hearts. Wishing you a wonderful birthday filled with many blessings. Looks like a birthday cake and a balloon and the party cone in there. Almost Human 0 times 1 says, happy birthday, fellow Wildcat. I'm getting the idea this is a Northwestern alumnus reference. So for those of us who know, for those of us who don't, Mr. Koz attended Northwestern University, which is actually not in Berwyn. It is in Evanston. Berwyn and Evanston not sharing a border, showing that the territory covered by Rich Koz goes far and wide. Interesting. Towel 50 says, happy birthday, Rich. I started watching you with my dad when I was 6 and carried that on with my kids who are now in their 20s. As we've so often said, it is an intergenerational experience, family friendly to watch Rich Koz as Svengoolie. Hence my solicitation for these comments here. An interesting towel is dropping very important business, very important acknowledgement right here. Thank you all. Thank you for all the years of fun, parentheses, with many more to come, and corny dad jokes. It doesn't get any better than that. So yeah, Quarter Square, since I solicited for the comments twice. So again, Quarter Square, taking that very creative Happy Orbital Completion Day. I got to start using that one on my own also. All right, Johnny Neverland. And I'm just saying, from where I'm scrolling right now, I can't see my own face down in the corner. I can't see the fresh comments, but after I get through, we'll come back again. Again, spoilers. Once we get to Michaela's, get your high quality Kleenex or your high quality tissue ready, because Michaela's dropping some serious sentimentality. Okay, so Johnny Neverland says, Svengoolie has brought me much joy over the last several years. So a heartfelt thank you and happy birthday to Mr. Rich Koz. Okay, Tricky Way 6018 says, happy birthday, Rich! Exclamation point. Your show is the highlight of our week, as it is for so many of us, a highlight of our week, and much appreciated, especially when it's been a bad week. You always make us smile. Here's to you! Exclamation point. Now, moving on, next one says, Newbie 527 says, one of the benefits of switching to an antenna was discovering Svengoolie on Saturday night. Happy birthday, Rich Koz! Exclamation point. We move on now to Johnny 299, fan since the cough within parentheses earliest days. ... Rich, seeing your show continue and thrive over the years has been amazing. Who has that kind of talent that stands the test of time? Bring on the chickens, bring on the corn, with a couple exclamation points there. Now, Psychological Wish says, happy birthday in advance. Sven, would love to talk more about him. The possible future of Psychological Wish 766 coming over here as a guest or a hotline caller. I will follow up with Psychological Wish and see about how that could come to bear. What will be in the future, we will check it out. Now we go to Horror Movie Fan 1955, who says, happy birthday, Rich. West Coast fan here, and I've been a fan since you started on MeTV. It is just so cool that a Chicago horror host has become as popular as you are all over the United States. I will ad-lib in a little bit more. Horror Movie Fan. We also get some Canadian people. We also get some people from Mexico. We also have some over-the-pond acknowledgement. And I say that including the... Anyway, let me stay on point. Have a wonderful birthday. Okay. Future Path 983. Future Path says, happy birthday, Sven. Hope it is spooktacular. My wife and I watched you for 14 years, Saturdays at 7 p.m. have been a regular date for all those years. Now, that is a good way to spend a marriage, I must say. Wishing you a great birthday and many more happy ones to come. All right, there was Future. Now we're getting to Hush Everyone. Hush Everyone is almost like a nostalgia Ferratu calling for silence. All right, it says here, happy birthday, Rich. Svengoolie Saturdays have been a fun family tradition for us for years. Paisan1 DE says, happy birthday, Rich. I gotta say, looking good for a ghoul, but I noticed your coffin. You better get that looked at. Man, using Svengoolie style jokes to acknowledge Svengoolie. Now, I was promoting Michaela's comment, but also noteworthy, often a guest around here, often making her art contributions, making her knowledge contributions. Nanette says, happy birthday to the person who I've been watching since 1980. Through the decades, Rich as Svengoolie, and also host of Stooja Palooza. I was just talking with J Spy and Casual Crafter, and Fanboy G was kind of silent in that group thread for a minute, but duly noteworthy that Rich was also hosting Stooja Palooza, as Nanette has pointed out. Has been our go-to. See, many a married couple having a date night at home Saturday nights, tuning in to Rich Koz Svengoolie. Nanette continues to say, thanks again for all you do and for being so gracious to your fans. Truly gracious, truly humble. You could say disproportionately gracious and humble given his level of success, but that only re-emphasizes the genuineness of the man in the hat. Now, this one might be a lady or a laddie, 12. Happy birthday from Paradise Coast, Florida. Svengoolie is the best thing to watch after sunset. Agree and agree. All right, now here we go. I warned you all. I told you, get ready. Here comes Svengoolie Michaela. Let me pace how I'm going to read this one out. Happy birthday to the person who changed my life forever! Exclamation point. Michaela says, I first discovered him in 2022 after I graduated from college and before I fell in love with the horror genre again. He changed my life in so many ways, from giving me a surprise package for being a trivia caller on Live with Kelly and Mark, to the many of my artworks being featured on the show. Pause. Michaela has to be one of the most frequently featured art submission people during the mail segment. Let me resume reading Michaela's commentary. She says, she continues, I am so grateful that I found a person who really cares and understands me, not only as a person, but as a friend of Svengoolie. I'm hoping for the official day that I will meet Sven and the squad one day and to interact with them. And I'm getting all choked up now, and I knew it was coming. Let me continue. And to interact with them and make my Svengoolie dream come true. Now I am inspired to be a horror host and to hopefully be the first horror host with special needs. Oh my gosh, Michaela. Without Sven, Svengoolie would not be in existence. I suppose that's true. Your moniker of Svengoolie wouldn't exist without Svengoolie. And I would not be here today. Thank you, Sven, for everything. And Svengoolie wishes you the happiest of birthdays. And then horror movie fan, who we just quoted a minute ago, jumps in to say, that is the sweetest birthday message, brought a tear to my eyes. Always enjoy your artwork too. All right, moving up. Michaela is a tough act to follow, so I credit Stan right here saying, I had no idea he was a Pisces like me. Happy birthday, Sven. Danny Hollow 09, the lead moderator of this very subreddit, says, happy birthday to the man in a hat. Thank you for all the corny jokes and gags, especially in times when a good laugh is needed. Here's to many more years of clearing the air lanes for the big broadcast. And then Dusty Pony 21. What a good moniker that is. Dusty Pony 21 says, happy birthday, Sven. We love and appreciate you. Thanks for making our Saturday nights a time of community. All right, now let me jump back to where I can see the things going here. Let me bring myself back up to. All right. So, boy, oh boy, comments kept coming in. Let's go, Mandarin. I'll go in reverse order. Mandarin says sup. Okay, Mandarin and Chai Star. I love to always see their banter. Animals and Legos. 4525. Svengoolie should explain this lore, what he is. Where did Kerwin originate? Let's see more nostalgia for Ratus and old childhood town and Hollywood. Yeah, see, there's room for the Sven squad to get into their backstory. There absolutely is, without question. Animals and Legos. I know you've been around here before. It's good to see you around here again. Chai Star says Sven panel is on the C2E2 website, but I don't see it on the app. I just checked the comments section before coming live here, and the official, I'm trying to say the appearances. I just checked the appearances tab on the Svengoolie website, and I don't see the details posted yet there. So some people find ways to get the advanced jump news. I'm not faulting that. Mandarin, man, I don't know, Mandarin. I thought I farmed that out to you, Mandarin, to go baking the cake. Mandarin, is the cake in the oven? Are you going to meet us? Mandarin, okay, what is the time? It's 7 o'clock right now. Mandarin, I will meet you at the 7-Eleven in Berwyn at 8 o'clock. Are we on or are we not on, Mandarin? Cake in the parking lot of 7-Eleven in Berwyn. There it is. Let me come back up. I didn't want to miss anybody else's stuff. Okay, so Chai Star saying right there, March 28th, 4:30 p.m. See, somebody else said 3:30. So I don't know, it could be 3:30, it could be 4:30, which is why I say it's always best to get the official word from the actual Svengoolie.com. Probably room 403, but I will say this also. 2 years ago on the autograph part on the Friday, it was said we're going to be over here in a certain spot for the autograph section, but then it was really like half the courtyard, half the, and I always say the wall, not like somebody's house wall, but I mean the giant McCormick Place Convention Center. So there can be changes, there can be things, random things going on. So I'm just saying probably maybe 4:30, probably maybe 3:30, but let's all keep in tune to see what the latest stuff is. Beasts of Berwyn, Svengoolie and the Sven Squad on live. All right, man, good. Oh man, I couldn't see at the time. But now let me get all these comments. My gosh. Okay, we had already covered the accent bit. He's already here with the accent. True. The bear, absolutely the Bears. Okay, we covered those. Sausage, broadstick. Oh, so some of the comment. Oh, well, hey, Chai Star continues to deliver comedy, and then obviously the Mandarin adding his HBD to Sven. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have Mandarin around. Let me go. Where do I search to see 2E2? Yeah, okay. Man, Mandarin is baking the cookies. All right, Mandarin. Hey, so Mandarin, 7-Eleven in Berwyn. Here, I'm going to go in here right now, man. I'm going in this phone, and I'm putting in Berwyn 7-Eleven, and I will meet you there in 1 hour's time, Mandarin, in the parking lot, and it'll be all good. I don't see, Mandarin. Okay, so a couple things. Now, in my heart, would it be like mean a lot? Would I need to be super, super chill and try to regulate myself through that conversation? Absolutely. Man, that's also like talk about the white whales and the holy grails. Like if that were ever to happen, Mandarin, if ever the man agreed to come on here as a guest, because I would like to get all those questions that aren't in the conventional questions. Like I want to get the full backstory on Durwood the dummy and Zelda the first talking skull, and then all the questions about Zalman Tombstone and all the questions about everybody who came between Tombstone and Kerwin. I'm talking Ed the Bat. I'm talking about the wacky Dactyl. I'm talking about all those, and I'm talking, you want to go old school deep cuts into channel 32, right? There's Huey, Dewey, and Louie. So at some point they were showing 3 tiny little skulls like on the clicky thing to make the jaw move, and those were Tombstone skulls, and I don't think those guys have made an appearance for a long time. I would want to get into all that. And what do we get? Okay, yep, Chai Star, you met Mandy, but you didn't know it because Mandy is masterful in man. Again, it's part of the lore now. It's part of the lore that we're in this Svengoolie panel, and Mandarin is right there face to face with Chai Star, but Chai Star didn't know it because that speaks to the masterfulness of Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. There's no wink wink about, well, you can wink wink it, but for sure, my boy passed right by you. Chai Star passed right by you. My wife passed right by you. I was in the other section of the audience. But man, it just cements the legend of the Mandarin as long as, yeah, see, yes, as long as, okay, where are we at? I thought I was going to do like 10 minutes, and here we are for like a half hour. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, man, except for me, unless you saw me and I just didn't know it. All right. Well, again, it is a school night. We are approaching C2E2. We're approaching St. Patrick's Day. This coming Friday, the 13th, will be Friday the 13th, as hosted by. Oh yeah, see the man, Mandarin. We're honestly, we're at your mercy, but we're within your web, Mandarin. We're within your web because at your choosing, you can do the face reveal. All right, so original Friday 13th coming up on. I long for that day, Mandarin. I long for that day. You might deny us photo access, but you might not call again. If you, I don't have the hotline set up tonight, Mandarin, but if you ever wanted to call in and use a *67 so we can't trace you back, I will accept all terms of your conditions, Mandarin. It is all good. In closing now, in attempting to start to close down the machinations here, the operations, I want to thank everybody in the Reddit community for playing along and contributing. It's a real fun place to hang out in the Svengoolie subreddit. I want to thank Danny, aka Hollow09, for holding down the fort there as the top moderator, for quoting Billy Joel for the longest time. As long as I'm on Billy Joel, let me bring it back to, you might be right. I may be crazy. It just may be a lunatic you're looking for. That was the old school closing song when Sven was still local, and you could not beat that. That was, man, just every time I hear the Billy Joel, I associate it together. When's it? It might be tomorrow. It might be in 10 minutes. I will keep you guys guessing. The same way Mandarin keeps me guessing, I'm going to try to keep Mandarin guessing. But I also want to just do the recap here. We've talked about a lot of different, what's been really cool about this for me, from the first time on the Fanboy Cantina channel, the first time we ever did any Sven content, that was a real good time. If people are into it, I suggest you go check that out. And then we broke big, having Terror Dave give us a long conversation going through his photos and his history. So that is our first ever 4 episodes on this channel to acknowledge Rich Koz's birthday. That was 2023. Here we are in 2026. I've met a lot of cool people along the way. You know, Nanette, Michaela, Chris Hamby, Russ, a.k.a. Sven, number 1 fan, number 1 Sven fan, Warner, Todd, Houston has been a highly entertaining guest around here because he is a masterful Sven fan. It's been a lot of fun. It will continue to be fun. Looking forward to C2E2, whether it's the mid 80s and I'm meeting Rich Koz with Junkyard standing next to me, or we're here hitting Volo, or hitting Fantasy Costumes, or Oh Yeah Comics, or all the different places that, or the convention center at C2E2 itself, at McCormick Place, all the different places we've been able to, at DeBevics, all the different places that Sven has popped up. It has been, and it continues to be a great fun ride. Again, thank you to the commenters in Reddit for making their contribution. I'll be having my Franco design Sven shirt. I got my St. Patrick's Day Sven shirts just back here behind me. Thanks to everybody. Dude, Jim Campbell, you always throw the most difficult, most boomerang, most thought-provoking questions. You just scrambled my brain in a completely new way, Mr. Campbell. Thanks for everybody live in the comment section. Thanks for the Reddit comment people. Hey, tomorrow's the actual birthday. Get in your Twitters or your Blue Skies or your Facebooks and wish the man a happy birthday as well. I'm closing us out. Looking forward to C2E2 coming up. Good times ahead. Thanks, everybody. And we are out.